I did a 15-second short. So this will be a continuation. I have autism. And this will be a continuation of the short that I made. Talk about, in short term, people, why you see me wear sunglasses. So the reason that I wear sunglasses and earplugs a lot, why you see me wear sunglasses and earplugs in my videos, is because I have autism. And commonly correlated with an autism diagnosis are sensitivities, which means a sensitivity to auditory and visual stimuli. And as a lot of people with autism, I have sensitivities. And I have improved that, meaning I've decreased my level of sensitivity, which why more of the time now I can for a few hours not wear the sunglasses. So that was triggered by seeing asshole making assumptions, Tony Jeffries making fun of fighters who starts wearing sunglasses, and about like lots of these fighters that once they get popular, they start wearing sunglasses indoors. He looked after me or something like this. And me being more competent, he's more valuable to fighters, the fighting community than he is. I can teach about neuroinflammation, how to deal with it, how to prevent brain damage, how to heal the brain, how to lower inflammation in the body. So I have to educate this guy who's a pro boxer. Now, here's what I know. I've talked about this before. It's like me having sensitivities. I talked about this before. It's like I think pattern recognition. Why I see a lot of fighters wear sunglasses in press conference. You know what I know about brain inflammation and how brain inflammation can lead to sensitivities. It's like I wouldn't be surprised if the reason why a lot of fighters you see them wearing sunglasses in press conferences, they can have a subconscious aversion, where it's like they just feel comfortable. So mirroring me before I got diagnosed and got more awareness of my difficulties. If I look back in my life before I was diagnosed as a teenager, a lot of times I've been wearing like hats. Okay, like if I look at like high school photos of this, I'd be having like a hat a lot of times, like a cap. And some of the worst lights are fluorescent lights in the ceiling, like in the supermarket or schools or hospitals, the fluorescent tubes. And I'm not the only person, but a lot of people like me report that the worst ones are the fluorescent light tubes that you have in like the supermarket or hospitals or school. So so that's one of the benefits of being diagnosed with autism. Whereas like now I have autism, and it's like a lot of it's like, oh, that explains some weird things that I've had. Whereas like for many years I was wearing sunglasses or having like hats like this. And okay. And then also if you look at photos of myself, there's something called light aversion. So if I analyze myself, looking at photos of myself as a kid, for example, a lot of times I would look like this. I talked about this recently. I was looking at a photo album when I was at my mom's house. And it's like I joked about like I was a villain already. Because a lot of times I'd be looking like this in photos. So my sister was there like this. We had like a picture like Christmas and we got outfits on. And like I'd be a lot of times standing like this. Now, this is a sign of light aversion in childhood. Because if there's a fluorescent light tube up here and you do this, you're getting less light directly into your eye, see? Okay, so that's what, like posture can be a sign of light aversion, okay? Meaning you have strong lights in the ceiling, like in the roof a lot of times. So also too, a lot of times in school, I'd be like sitting like this, or if I'm doing tests, I'd be like this, okay? Or standing like this, which means, see, if there's a light here, I'm getting less light into my eyes just because my head is tilted down, okay? And then also, when I was in like 7th, 8th grade, for a while I had like a weird haircut where I let my hair grow like a curtain over my eyes. I remember that too. So it's like, I would have like a hat that was like this, okay, which means it's like shade here. And also has like, it's blocking the most normal lights, which like the first light tubes you might have in school. Which like you have a hat like this, it makes the light from above. You receive less light. Also, before that, I had like a really weird haircut where I let my hair grow so it become like a curtain that would be over my eyes. And it wasn't just the style, I thought it was more handsome, but I end up letting the hair grow and I feel better having this haircut. And then I end up having a haircut. So it's a weird haircut, so I grew my hair like in 7th, 8th grade, like a curtain over my eyes. Also like the body language that like exhibiting light aversion because you're decreasing the amount of direct light getting fluorescent tubes in the ceiling if you do this, okay? So a lot of times I've had this portion for photos and things like this. And then I also like doing this and wearing sunglasses and this. So autism, commonly correlated with autism is neuroinflammation. So I know this, I have to educate people, okay? Commonly correlated with an autism diagnosis is neuroinflammation, okay? And so you have these facts, okay, connected the dots. Autism, you can Google search autism neuroinflammation, okay? So commonly correlated with autism is neuroinflammation, which means inflammation of the brain. The word neuro, compound word, neuroinflammation is brain inflammation. Neurosurgeon, brain surgeon, okay? Neuropsychiatry, brain psychiatry, okay? So, hello, Charlotte. Thanks, okay. This is most likely not going to be that long. I tried to record a 3-minute short, and like while I wear sunglasses, and I did 2 attempts, and in the middle of the short, it's like froze, and it could be my RAM memory. I have to clean up like the draft folders or something like this. But I tried 2 times to make a 3-minute short, and like the second time, where like halfway into the 3-minute short video talk about this, it shut off, and I made a 15-second short there, and I felt like I didn't get everything said, so I decided to go live here. Okay. So, anyways, that point. Commonly correlated with autism is neuroinflammation, which means brain inflammation. What are some? So you know that now, okay? Autistic people are more likely statistically to have a brain inflammation problem than the average person, okay? What are some common characteristics or difficulties that autistic individuals will have? Sensitivities, okay? That's one of the most common things that autistic people have a problem with, sensitivities, which means being overloaded by loud, like if there's this commotion, it's a lot of motion and loud noises and sounds, okay? So like social problems are common with autistic people. And also like being fatigued, there's something called autistic burnout, which is like things, part of me improving myself as an autistic person and like decreasing. One thing that you can have as an autistic person is called autistic burnout, which means you get so much stress that you like hit a wall and you have to kind of like be in a dark room and like sleep in and like call in sick for work or something like this. Okay. And high stress can lead to that. So some of the things that had like decreased the frequency of like meltdowns, quote unquote, and being like to a point where it's like I'm exhausted and fatigued, I had to be kind of like calling sick and like be in bed and just like sleeping for this, is doing things like wearing sunglasses and earplugs, having awareness, okay, and having strategies that help me to deal better with life, okay. And when I talk about having sensitivities, that doesn't mean that I'm a pussy. It's not like I'm weak. Oh no, I'm too weak to do what's right. It's like an allergy. It's not a character issue. It's like an allergy where your body will react negatively to something. So like somebody has an allergy to vertigo. Like some people have motion sickness, where if you're in a car they start vomiting. That's not like the character. It's like, oh, I'm scared of driving a car, so I end up vomiting and feeling like nauseous or something. No, it's like their body's reacting to sitting in a car or being on a boat in this way. So in the same way. So yeah, commonly correlated with autism is neuroinflammation, which means brain inflammation. And what are some issues that autistic people will have a lot of times? Commonly sensitivities, which means sensitivity to bright lights and loud noises. A lot of times it be certain types of lights. The worst ones, in my experience, a lot of people also have the same one, will be the fluorescent lights. So it's not just the frequency, it's the flicker rate. These are 2 significant factors: the flicker rate of the light, okay, and also the type of light, okay. So fluorescent light is different than sunlight. LED lights, an LCD monitor is different than a CRT like you used to have in the 90s, okay? I actually saw one of the autism groups, like adults with autism on Facebook. Some guy was in there like, I've been looking to find CRT monitors and the type of TVs they had in the 90s, something like this. And he might not even have awareness, which like, because it says sensitivities, and remember that he'd be more or less look at the old school TV. But it's like, it might be like, wow, I just feel like there's something I want to get, okay? So it'd be like semi-consciously, that he's seeking confidence. Okay, here's the point. So people with autism have brain inflammation more likely than people who don't, like a high level of brain inflammation. And what is common problems autistic people have? Sensitivities, which means a sensitivity to lights and noises, which is why you see me wear sunglasses and earplugs, okay? And it's not trying to look cool. I've been trolled and harassed and bullied about this a lot of times. It was like, what's with the sunglasses? You're trying to look cool. It's like, as a matter of fact, and it's not a gimmick, okay? It's like, it's being secure, not in myself, not being insecure. Meaning I'm handsome, and I look more handsome if I don't wear sunglasses. Wearing sunglasses make me look more weird, okay? Let's say. But I'm not insecure enough, where I'm sensitive to like, well, I know if I wear sunglasses, I get questioned, why wear sunglasses? Michael, look weird, don't look cool. It's like, oh, I'll self-sacrifice my authenticity for approval. I'm so insecure that it's like, even though I like to privately wear sunglasses indoors, it's like, I'm not going to wear them because people ask why, and it's like, oh, so no, that's like autistic masking. Like, I'm going to start looking people in the eye even though I don't feel like it, which is not a common issue that autistic people have. Eye contact aversion. Okay. People with autism commonly exhibit eye contact aversion. And some people engage in autistic masking, which means they have like scripts. And they will be like, train themselves to be like, well, I don't feel like looking people in the eye, but I'll be like, every 5 seconds I look at person in the eyes, be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looking in the eye, break contact. And so they're trying to, like a C-level actor, autistic masking, where it's like you're playing the role of yourself without autism. And I don't really do that, okay? I don't mask, meaning I don't like looking people in the eyes, and I don't make myself look people in the eyes. And I'm secure enough in myself where I'm not afraid of being looked at like a weirdo or strange, okay? So the best gimmick is being yourself in a world where everybody is trying to blend in with the crowd. That's the best gimmick, okay? That's the best gimmick. So I don't wear sunglasses as a gimmick, okay, or to look cool. I wear sunglasses and earplugs because I'm autistic, and it helps to be my best self, perform better mentally, physically, emotionally, and okay, if I do it. So, and I'm not going to stop because some people might think I look strange, okay? So that's the point where this applies to people with fibers. I have thought about this, so it was a journey of understanding this. Commonly correlated with autism is sensitivities. Commonly correlated with autism is abnormal levels of neuroinflammation above baseline, meaning brain inflammation. Okay, so autistic people have brain inflammation more of the time than a non-autistic person. What is common problems there? What are common problems autistic people have? And you know that a lot of times if you're autistic, you have brain inflammation more likely than not, more likely than a non-autistic person. Problems are sensitivity to bright light diagnosis. Another thing is balancing issues, coordination. Well, one of the most common things autistic people say, like, yeah, I was autistic, I'm family. See, I'm family, okay, and bad coordination. And an autistic person won't like to be like, yeah, when I was in school, I was the last one to get picked for the basketball team or something, so I wasn't good at sports. What happens if a person has a concussion? A lot of times if people have a concussion, they have acute short-term effect. They exhibit they have sensitivities. So a non-autistic person that gets concussed, knocked out, for a few days or weeks after that can find bright lights really annoying, and loud noises, okay? And even part of standard care, what a doctor might tell you if you got concussed and knocked out, be like rest and have like low stimuli environments that keep it dark and like things like this. Okay, so that's the point. And balancing issues, where people that have brain damage or just a concussion, a lot of times they experience being more family and clumsy and having worse coordination balance, see. So, I do think that a lot of these fighters that wear sunglasses in press conferences is because concussive blows to the head can initiate brain inflammation. And what do I know? That brain inflammation at a certain level makes you noticeably sensitive to bright lights and loud noises. Okay, so if you get, and that's another thing that people, it's starting to catch on. I've been teaching for years, like neuroinflammation. You can search Dr. Mark Order presents his 3-year TBI study on YouTube, and he's got a lecture there on this topic, okay? Nice point. You don't have to get knocked out, okay? Part of the mainstream medicine some doctors in certain places be like, you show up, you had a slip and fall and hit your head, and be like, yeah, doc, I fell and hit my head on the field. Well, did you vomit or lose consciousness? No. Oh, okay, don't worry about it, kind of. See, okay. Now you don't have to have a loss of consciousness for there to be brain inflammation, for there to be a problem there. Okay, you can have a sub loss of consciousness level concussive blow, or like a MBT, a mild traumatic brain. You can have like a just being sparring, just having your head rattled in sparring, being punched without being knocked out. It's not that, well, only if you get knocked out you get a brain damage. Only if you get knocked out you get a brain damage. Only if you hit your head hard enough to go out is that now it's like you got a problem in your brain possibly, okay? No, it's like just the brain being rattled, even in sparring, like having your head rocked repeated. So it's not just the blows. If you look at a boxer, it's not just the what times he got knocked out that he's like that's hurting his brain. It's like just every punch hitting and walking his brain, rattling his brain can initiate new inflammation and like maintain it, okay? And if you have brain inflammation at a high level for a long time, now you start getting into issues where you more like have Alzheimer's, dementia, Copra syndrome. See, notice how there's also a difference. What have I been telling you all these years? These fighters have been missing out. This is what I'm talking about when I'm like cutting edge, okay? Very valuable to people. People with PTSD, CPTSD, depression, anxiety fighters. It's like brain inflammation. Brain inflammation and mental illness go hand in hand. Meaning somebody is depressed, having panic attacks. If you have mental health problems, you're more likely to have a brain inflammation problem than not. They're correlating. Commonly correlated with schizophrenia, Kappa syndrome, like OCD, panic attacks, things like this. It's brain inflammation, okay? So what do I know? Well, being hit in the head gives you brain inflammation, okay? BJ Penn is now in the news. Ex-martial artist, okay? He had a style of like taking a lot of shots to the head. He was known for that. Like he would eat shots, like taking power shots to his head and not being really like defensive or fighter, okay? Mayweather, he's like an expert at not being hit and like really focused on not taking damage in a fight to the head. But BJ Penn is more like D.S. Bernstein style, where he wasn't that concerned about not being hit. He was like eating shots and like walking into punches and hitting you something at least some of the time. So that's the point. It's like, oh, he now is on social media exhibiting signs of Kappa syndrome, where it's like he thinks that his mom has been replaced by a clone. Okay, see? What do we know? Being a fighter, you get hit in the head. Being hit in the head gives you brain inflammation. Brain inflammation makes it more likely that you have a mental health problem. Okay. And BJ Penn, who's been in the sport of being hit in the head repeatedly, is now showing sign of this mental health problem called Copra syndrome, whatever it's called. Basically, he's got a mental health problem where he's posting about his mom has been replaced by a government agent who's in disguise, okay? And people are agents, okay? So this is, people with this mental health problem can believe that the dog, their pet, the cat has been replaced, and it's like a government agent or something like this. Let's see, the government like replaced the cat, and the cat has like a camera in its eye spinal or something like this. It could be something like that. But this mental health problem, this is a thing that is a mental health problem some people have. It's diagnosable. It's like they believe that their girlfriend has been replaced, okay? And it's like now their girlfriend is like a wife. It's like an impersonator who's pretending to be the wife. The real wife got replaced with like an agent. BJ Penn is right now on social media showing this, okay, where it's like his mom has been replaced. He's posted videos from home with like his mom, who's like 70 plus, lifting like a table, and it's like exposed. It's like 80-year-old supposedly is like lifting a table, and it's like 40 pounds of this, okay? And somebody makes the point. What about Tony Ferguson? He's another man who was in the media, who's also a combat athlete, he's been punched in the head. And he was being in the media, was like believing that he was opening the walls to look for things in the walls, splashing holy water on his wife because he believed his wife was a witch or practicing witchcraft, something like this. And things like this, okay? See, it's a mental health problem from a guy who's been doing something that's known to give brain inflammation. And I'm saying that I believe that a lot of mental health problems are rooted in brain inflammation. See, like correlating with that. Okay, so PTSD, CPTSD, same there. See Mark Gordon. Mark Gordon presents his 3-year TBI study. Okay, so anyway, I believe that a lot of these fighters that you see wearing sunglasses on press conferences, I don't believe it's all to look cool like a gimmick. I believe it's like me, where they have brain inflammation and they might not have awareness. It can be like me before I got diagnosed with autism. And like in hindsight, I learned it's like, oh, okay, like sensitivities. And like having things where I'm like quiet down and like losing my temper when there's like loud things like the alarm is going off, stuff like this. When I was still living with my mom, I would have like freak out sometimes and like meltdowns. But like, a lot of times if I would like lose my stuff and act out, still living with my mom, it'd be like I'm sleeping and there's some loud noise outside. I'm like, God damn it, shut up, and like be raging. Like some loud noises, I'd be like losing my mind, okay? And like in hindsight, it's a lot of times if I had been really losing my temper at home, it would be like, if I look back in memory, it'd be like, it was loud. It's like my mom's husband was drilling downstairs or something like this, or doing some carpentry. And it's like, I'm really like annoyed by that. Okay. And like I said before, like a lot of times I've been like this in class as I'm studying. I've been like this or like this, wearing like hats like this. And I didn't know like, oh, I have sensitivities. That's why I end up growing my hair to have like a curtain of hair in front of my eyes. Or after I start having a different haircut, I wear like baseball caps all the time like this, which reduces the amount of light to get into your eyes. And then sunglasses, things like this. So that's the point. I believe that a lot of these fighters, the reason that they're wearing sunglasses in the press conference, they might not have awareness. It might be like me, where it's like you can have unconscious avoidance. Like, for example, somebody who feels a little bit uncomfortable seeing fluorescent light, getting direct fluorescent light into their eyes, they might just naturally body tell us, but they feel uncomfortable like this and end up doing this, and now they feel better, they end up staying like this because they get less light. Or it's like they buy a baseball hat for it and they feel better, and now they start wearing a baseball cap more of the time. Or maybe they wear sunglasses one day and they felt better the whole day wearing sunglasses, and they're more likely to start wearing sunglasses without having like awareness, like a cognitive thing where it's like, I have sensitivities. So if I wear a hat or sunglasses, that's giving me less stress or something like this. But they might be just kind of intuitively end up wearing sunglasses. So knowing this, being punched in the head can give you brain inflammation. If brain inflammation gets high enough, you will have sensitivities. Sensitivities to bright lights and loud noises, okay? And what is martial arts? Boxing. It's a sport where you get hit in the head, and being hit in the head can be brain inflammation. And if you have enough brain inflammation, you start having sensitivities, okay? Which means, okay. So here's the thing. I do believe that some of these fighters, the reason they wear the sunglasses, because they're sparring and training, they have brain inflammation, and they feel less calm, less good if they have bright lights, and they might just naturally end up wearing sunglasses all the time, where having like a cognitive, like an awareness of it. And what is a press conference? People taking pictures with a flash, see? So a guy that's in a sport known to give you brain inflammation is in an environment where people are taking cameras with flashes on you and have like super bright lights, like rigs sometimes. They have like constant lights on the stage shining at you so they can take pictures. And then they also have like flashes a lot of the time. So a guy who's in a sport with receiving concussive blows to the head repeatedly, being in an environment that's super high visual, okay, like really like bright lights, flashing lights, like worst case scenario, ends up wearing something like sunglasses. That doesn't surprise me, okay? So I don't think that it's like all of this is, and I got really pissed at this Tony Jefferson post about this, because it's like his toxic. See, I'm helpful to fighters. I can teach people how to lower inflammation. I'm a person who's had extreme sensitivities and decreased them. I'm a person who's had all kinds of problems, and I can teach how to prevent brain damage. I can teach how to lower inflammation system-wide in your body. Okay, and this guy's like almost like a cover. It's like, yeah, these fighters wear sunglasses haha, you look ridiculous at press conferences. When I go, well, I think at least a number of these people, the reason they're wearing sunglasses because they have brain inflammation from scoring and fighting, okay? And they just feel more comfortable in sunglasses, but they're gonna have bright lights at them and camera flashes. And it's like, haha, you fighters don't wear sunglasses to look cool at press conferences like this. So notice how I'm more valuable to people that is pro boxing coach. I'm more valuable to pro fighters. BJ Penn, the Diaz brothers, whoever. If they find my video, they're getting more help than if they find Tony Jeffries' video. Because he's not going to teach about sensitivities and brain inflammation, how to prevent brain inflammation, and how to lower inflammation in the body, and like how to heal, being a person that has healed from things. So yeah, anyway, support. Here's the point. Yeah, so the reason I wear sunglasses is not to look cool, it's not a gimmick. The best gimmick in the world where people are afraid of standing out and trying to fit in with the herd is being unapologetically yourself. Where it's like naturally. As a matter of fact, I actually sometimes take off that privately. I wear sunglasses. So it's like more often when I'm on a video. Like if I join a panel, a lot of times I do this. Like before I'm gonna join as a guest on a live stream. A lot of times I have sunglasses on and like the headphones on, and I look more weird. Like the first impression, I like to go like I join as a guest, I take off the glasses and headphones, go hello everybody, and then I put them on. Okay, so it's like the first impression is Mike looking handsome, and then it's like a weird autism paraphernalia. I guess put it on. Okay, see. So a lot of times it's like I'm more likely to now wear sunglasses if I make a video because I look more handsome. So if I'm looking to make like a video where I'm looking my best, or take a selfie, I'm more likely to take the sunglasses off a lot of the time. Okay. Now I want to show like my whole face. Now here's a point. It's a point. There's many things that you can do to lower inflammation. And these videos, I want to teach them on Rumble, not on YouTube. If I get into it, start laying out what I think you can do to deal with your brain inflammation, I might have to take 96 seconds to do a disclaimer and all this stuff. There might be some things, there's no disclaimer okay, so that's the point. Yeah, I have brain inflammation, and commonly correlated with autism is neuroinflammation. So, what do people with PTSD and CPTSD a lot of times have? Rages, okay. Which is like an autistic meltdown. Okay, where autistic people have meltdowns where they lose control themselves and act out. So, yeah, anyway, it's a point. With time, I've cut my sensitivities at least in half. So I used to be at least twice as sensitive. My sensitivity is a lot worse. Okay, a lot worse. I've cut it in half or so. Now I still wear earplugs and sunglasses, but I'm not as sensitive as I used to be. Nice and point. If you want to learn how to lower brain inflammation and like borderline inflammation, you can learn it from me. I have the knowledge. I can teach people how to lower inflammation in the brain and in the body. So basically, that's how it hurts you. The concussions, the punches to the head if you're a fighter, being knocked out or just being hit in the head. It's giving you brain inflammation, and your brain being inflamed is what causes damage over time, especially. So it's not that it's like you get hit and then something has to break, like a piece has to break off from your brain for you to have brain problems. It's like you get hit in the head and you have generally inflammation in your brain, and over time you can have problems. Okay? So it's not that it's like you have to get hit and how it hits you. It's like you get hit and it's a certain brain that like breaks off and now you have a slurred speech or something like this. No, it's having inflammation for many years and then it affects your brain. So here's the point. Yeah, the reason I wear sunglasses and earplugs indoors is not to look cool. I actually look worse being self-aware wearing the sunglasses and earplugs and this. It's because I have sensitivities, which is common with people that have autism. And I pulled this up here. Here, I Googled autism sensitivities. Autistic individuals often experience sensory sensitivities, which means they may have unusual reactions to sensory input, like sounds, sights, smells, tastes, tastes or touch. I need to plug in the laptop. This was being easily overwhelmed by sensory input. So sensory sensitivities is, like I told, not a chemical issue. So if I don't wear sunglasses, if I don't wear earplugs, I'm going to be losing my temper more frequently. I'm going to have more stress. So being exposed to auditory visual stimuli at a high level without my aids, okay, sunglasses and earplugs, I'm going to be more frequently losing my temper. I'm going to be more stressed. I'm going to have high levels of cortisol and adrenaline in my body, okay, if I don't wear sunglasses and earplugs. So, and my brain performs worse, meaning my recall ability, my articulation level, things like this, how coherent I'm speaking. All of these things I can notice and be negatively affected. So if I have bright lights, loud noises, I'm less articulate. My memory is not as good. I'm not as good at doing math or something like this. So it's a performance decrease, and it's also like more stress. So anyway, that's the point. I'm unapologetic myself, and I don't care. I'm not insecure. I'm comfortable enough and secure enough in my skin. A lot of people have matured, where a lot of adults now are living in fear of being mocked and ridiculed, and people think they're weird. Okay, whereas I'm comfortable being myself. It's like yeah, I wear sunglasses, earplugs, and for years I've had people a lot of times come to me and say, "Boy, was uncle attack me because they see my sunglasses," and I didn't like stop. I stopped my sunglasses because people think I'm weird. I'm unapologetic myself. Okay, so if I privately wear sunglasses and earplugs, I'm not gonna take off my earplugs and sunglasses before I get on camera to people please and make people like me more. Okay, I'm more concerned about being my best self, okay, and performing my best. Okay, so anyways, the point. I can teach people like BJ Penn. I definitely believe I could help them, and I'd be better at helping schizophrenics deal with the schizophrenia than the standard care. I believe. I mean, if I had a clinic, it's okay, and people go to me and be like, "Hey, my son here, he's seeing demons and hearing voices." I believe I'd be better at helping a guy than the average doctor that is mainstream psychiatry. I'm not joking. And I'm not going to get into how I would be dealing with it, but I believe I would be better. Okay. So, anyway, here's the point. Yeah, so it's like I'm a success story. It's like I've cured myself of panic attacks that I was suffering for many years. Complete cure. Cured myself of panic attacks. Went from being super anxious and depressed. I'm not depressed now. I don't have anxiety all the time. And I've improved a lot of ways. Now, anyways, the point. Yeah, so the reason why a lot of fighters wear sunglasses in press conferences, I believe that it's a certain amount of them, a lot of them is going to be that they have sensitivities. They have brain inflammation from being hit in the head, knocked out or not, and they just feel better wearing sunglasses when in an environment that has bright flashing lights. Okay, that's my analysis. And I don't think it's really helpful by Tony Jeffers making posts on Instagram, like making fun of people. What are these fighters wearing sunglasses in a press conference? Well, there's people like me that have autism that wear sunglasses, earplugs, because got sensitivities. And then there's fighters that have brain inflammation being hit in the head. And if you have enough brain inflammation for that reason, you get sensitivities. So a lot of these fighters, the reason why they wear sunglasses is because they might not even know it themselves, but they just end up feeling more comfortable wearing sunglasses than not. Okay. And if you're a fighter watching this, it doesn't have to be a celebrity. If you're training, sparring, I can teach you how to lower inflammation in your brain, okay, and then how to heal your brain and to prevent future damage, okay. And if you have like already decay, to slow down how fast you're getting worse, at least. There's a lot of things can be done. So anyway, I support. I'm not going to get into teaching this video because there's a lot of disclaimer work, and as I said, there's certain things I might be able to get into, others not. Now, still, just from this, I'm still going to do disclaimer. So, nothing I've said is for this particular medical advice information. It's pure my personal belief and opinion, okay? And talk to a doctor, licensed physician, before making changes to diet, lifestyle, supplementation, and medication. Okay. So what I've been saying this video is not intended to replace the care of licensed physician. It's not intended to take this medical information. It's purely my personal different opinion of things. Some of which may be purely for entertainment purposes. Okay. So anyway, support. Yeah, so it's like if you're into this type of stuff, I had to pull punch on YouTube on health fitness videos, but I'll let you know. Okay, you subscribe to my Rumble account, Critical Mass Mike, at Critical Mass Mike, Rumble, okay? And if I want to make videos teaching health fitness tricks or pulling punches, I'll do them there, okay? So yeah, Tony Jeffries, you look like an asshole, okay? And he's most likely living out of shit. That's the point. This is another thing that other health fitness influencers have been teaching, like Israel or Greg Doucette. They've been teaching about inflammation and how inflammation is part of mental health problems a lot of times. And he hasn't been teaching that and then how to deal with inflammation in natural ways, as I have. So notice I talk a big game, but it's all truth. I mean, it's like I'm more valuable than Mike Israel. Mike Israel hasn't talked about the correlation between mental health problems and if you have depression, anxiety, panic attacks, or autism, ADHD, you're more likely to have a brain inflammation problem than people that don't have these problems. And here is how to reduce the inflammation, okay, effectively. Yeah, you notice that makes it more valuable. A lot of people are ignorant, they haven't been told that, hey, if you got a mental health problem, you might have a brain inflammation problem. And here are ways that you can lower inflammation, okay? So yeah, that makes it more valuable. So yeah, I'm not gonna change, okay? I'm not gonna stop wearing sunglasses to people, please, because sometimes we get called for, why wear sunglasses? What's with the sunglasses? Okay. Uh, and you're especially more likely to get blocked quickly if you write that after like once a month make a video with like why I wear sunglasses. And if you show it up and go, what's with the glasses? And it's like less than a week I upload a video to my channel explaining that. Now it's also weird that you're writing about that. It was like coming to attack somebody about their appearance. You know how assholes make assumptions. It was like, I'm assuming Marcus wearing sunglasses look cool, but in reality he's wearing sunglasses because he's got a disability. And he feels better and performs better if he wears sunglasses. But I'm going to come in here attacking this is just what that means. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to finish up. If you're a fighter, now the Illuminati shield masters will let you talk to me, okay? See, I'm free, but other people, they certain things they're afraid to do, or can't do, or forbidden to do. But if you're a fighter, or a relative of a fighter, and you're having problems, you're looking to prevent problems, you got mental health problems, you can get some free coaching. I can teach people, fighters or not, they have mental health problems, or other problems. I can teach things that definitely can help you to improve, okay? I can teach people how to improve mentally, physically, definitely if you have problems, even spiritually. So I'm gonna finish up now, just gonna be done the video. I'll be live for 38 minutes, 40 seconds. Anyway, shout out to Charlotte Nightstore, the werewolf there. She was the first person to leave a comment in here. And she left a like on the stream, I could tell, because right after I saw her comment, I saw the like go up too. So, shout out to Charlotte Nightstore, the werewolf. I look at her channel too. She's one of those people that be support for up sometimes says hello and hits like in the video. And I checked out her channel. She's got a channel herself, and she's got some good videos. I listened to one of the videos about art. She had a conversation with a man there talking about art in general, and I liked it. I was listening for at least 30 minutes too. So I spend more time making content, but it's like now and then when I have some free time, I tune into other people's streams and things like this. And I talked about in my recent stream, I get pissed sometimes. I've been a guest on people's live streams like Poon and other people. It's like a pattern. Sometimes I'm a guest on other people's streams and end up deleting the stream. And I spend like 3-4 hours. So I could have made a video like this. Okay, I spent 3 hours being live in the kitchen. I got 7,000 views on that stream. Okay, and I spent those 3 hours being a guest on Poon's channel. Okay, and I could have gotten 7,000 views to my channel. That might lead to 17 people subscribing to the channel. okay, and more growth. But I spent 3 hours on your stream and end up deleting, removing it. Okay, so whatever, I'm gonna finish up. I do all my fasts, I didn't break my fast. I'm gonna have a Coca-Cola to help hydrate, soak up some electrolytes, well, helping to absorb liquid. I have a Coke. Yesterday I had a spike. I bought 2 glass bottles of soda, which is unhealthy, okay? But if I do a 3-hour training stream, I'm sweating like a hippo. And like if I have a Coca-Cola and then water, that's all of the benefits. And for most people, the high sugar diet is doing more harm than good. But if you're an athlete and you're in a sauna sweating, you get out of the sauna and you have like a Coca-Cola and then water, the sugar can help your body to soak up liquid, okay? To help you go from super dehydrated to more hydrated. So that's like one of the therapeutic effects of sugar. If you drink a sugar liquid after an intense workout, it can help to soak up liquid, to absorb liquid after sweating a lot. Now, I'm not recommending that, okay? But if you're just sitting at home and just drinking Coca-Cola because it's tasty all day, you get fat, so it's bad for your health. But it basically does less harm to people that are exercising if they have sugar before exercising intensely or right after. It doesn't hurt as much as like a fat guy who's sitting on his ass all day eating sugar and drinking Coca-Cola and not moving around, okay? So anyway, it's a point. I consume less than 10 grams of sugar per day. And on a rare occasion, I have a high sugar day, and it's like not even once a week, like every time a year. And I call it like a cheat day. So I gotta finish up now. I find it interesting too. I uploaded a video once, and I'm doing on and off, where it's like grab post-workout supplements, a short, or like drink a vitamin C water. And I have sometimes like the next day I have like 3 likes on it. And then I upload a video of like a bowl of ice cream and I have like 12 likes on it. See, so it's like poison. Mike uploads a video promoting a cheap, well, showing cheapness too. Okay, but if Mike is uploading videos of supplements that are good for your health, the opposite of poison, and promoting that, like people don't like that much. But if I upload a video of like one of my cheat meals, like ice cream, that people like that, okay? See? So it's like, yeah. Anyway, it's the point. I gotta finish up here. You want to learn more about health fitness? Knowing who I am is conducive to that. Now, like I told you on YouTube, a birdside fears to fly. I've been burnt before. I'm not afraid, but I say, okay. I've been burnt before. I've had videos pulled by YouTube for medical misinformation. So I've learned what not to do. It's like, oh, when I got a video pulled, I was saying this, okay? So don't say that again, okay? There's like certain topics I don't even get into here. And just generally talk about health fitness. It's like a veritable minefield. It's like, I want to say this, but I can't, but I can say this thing in this way. Okay, and it's like really bizarre. Don't be evil. Mike Size working to warn people for things that are going to kill them and work to save children's life. Okay, let's punish him for that. Because he's one of few people who have the competence and the courage to be a voice out here, to be like, here's the truth. Attack him for that. Don't be evil, okay? Okay, Mike is one of few people that know how to prevent deaths, and he's having the courage to speak on you, to attack and punish him for that. So, okay, but don't be evil. Okay, so you can remove the don't. Okay, and it'll be more accurate. So I've had videos put by YouTube before. So whatever. So that's the point. I'm gonna finish up now. It's gonna be the end of the video. And what you need to know, in case my channel gets deleted by YouTube at some point. And it's not like, as long as I don't do something wrong, I'm safe. I had videos pulled by YouTube before where they're lying about me breaking the terms of service. One time I had 2 adults in the room with me, and YouTube pulled the stream for featuring minors. And there was not one person in the room that wasn't over 18, okay? And they upheld that, see? So it's not like, wow, as long as I dot my I's, dot my Q's, I'm safe on YouTube. No, it's like, even if you play by the rules, they might just attack and remove your video and like say you broke the rules. Another time I got a strike, most ridiculous one, for taking supplements and drinking a protein shake on camera. Okay. Meanwhile, you have influencers like Greg Doucette selling supplements on camera. Turkesterone, okay? But Mike's doing a live vlog on his YouTube channel. Like, I'm going to take my supplements and drink a protein shake. Get a strike for that. Okay. But other people can sell supplements on camera. See? Now, this is one of the most bizarre ones because it's like, that's like unheard of. It's like you don't get strikes for taking supplements. Okay. These people have entire YouTube channels about supplements and taking them and things like this. But it's like if you're Mike's out holding the video, yeah, you have things like getting a strike for feature minus when there was no minus in the video, and you get a strike for whatever for taking supplements and drinking protein shake on camera. Okay, which I got a strike for. So it's not like, well, as long as I just play by the rules, I'm safe. No. It's like even if I play by the rules, it's like if you just decide if Mike's getting too many views, let's delete this stream. Okay, they just make something up. So anyway, I'm gonna finish up. It's a better video. And I'm an autistic person. I haven't been using my autism as an excuse to be a loser. I've been using it as a reason to improve. Okay, which is why I'm a raging success, literally, figuratively, metaphorically, and poetically out here. Which means I'm out here like I used to have panic attacks, kill myself for that. Okay, I used to be unable to do public speaking, social anxiety, autism, and like really not able to socialize at any level. And now I can do public speaking, real-time live to thousands of people on the internet. Going from like I couldn't talk to strangers on the phone, but I'd have like extreme social anxiety. That's also not a common problem autistic people have. Social anxiety, being like having a hard time socializing with people. And there's different types and degrees, like intensities of socializing. So social interactions that can be talk on the phone to a stranger, texting, writing an email, okay, face-to-face video call. It can be being in a video talking to people. Okay, so there's different levels. Now, I used to not be able to talk to people on the phone when I'd have like extreme anxiety. Just talking to someone on the phone, I would be like anxious, see? And I've gone from that to being live on the internet, doing public speaking to thousands of people, which is something a lot of neurotypicals that don't have autism and associated like comorbidities, like social anxiety problems. Like a lot of neurotypicals, the average person's biggest fear is public speaking. That's one of the most common fears. It's like public speaking, which is why so few people do it. And most people are just giving their opinion on things in comment sections. So one of the most common fears is public speaking. So I went from having social anxiety and being autistic, where I couldn't barely like talk on the phone where people are being super anxious, to doing public speaking real-time live to thousands of people. See? But why? And it hasn't been all exposure therapy. That's part of what I've been using to improve myself. Meaning forcing myself to do the thing that is difficult for me to do and keep forcing myself to do that. It's like, it's really hard and uncomfortable for me to be socializing. And I force myself to do more of it and I get better at it, okay? Like I get less and less of an issue with it, okay? But it's not only that. It's not that alone. It's supplements. Okay, so it's like if you have anxiety, I force myself, if you have agoraphobia, and I force myself to go to town square, you have a panic attack, now you're just reinforcing sensitivity because you're like feeding back, where it's like, yes, it is dangerous to be out in public and really stressful because look at this crisis that happened being on the town square where you had a panic attack and felt like you're about to die. So really it's like exposure therapy coupled with supplements, okay? Where it's like you change your diet and you supplement with things so you get more stress tolerant and you have lower stress. And okay, so what is the point? There's a lot of things I can teach. That's the point. You can really make it easier to overcome phobias and things like this if you don't just do exposure therapy, but you do exposure therapy in conjunction with supplements. Where it's like, get your supplementation diet right, you'll be less stressed, and now you can deal with a higher level, and you can deal with this level, and you'll be less stressed, and it's easier for you to overcome this. So whatever is the point, sensitivities and autism commonly correlating, and that's why you see me wear sunglasses a lot of times. Now, I like to wear these types if I'm gonna have the fluorescent light on this evening here. When I work off a natural light, like sunlight, these, okay, I don't really need sunglasses a lot of times. So I'm gonna finish up this video. Also, I have my phone screen set to the lowest setting, like the screen brightness, with a red light filter on it. and then also like another filter app where I have like I can get my phone screen darker than what the phone like the standard thing is. I have an app dimmer where I can make it like if I pull it to the lowest brightness setting, it's still too bright for me. So I have like a dimmer app where I can make it even brighter. Okay, than the phone notification panel like brightness bar. It goes to the bottom. I can make it even brighter with the app, even darker. And then I have like the night light mode on, like the red light thing on. And then still I feel like wearing sunglasses. So if I look at a phone screen, I wear sunglasses, and I have a problem with that. So yeah, I think that a lot of these fighters that Tony Ferguson is attacking rather be part of the solution. This bitch is part of the problem. So I'm part of the solution here because I'm teaching fighters how to protect their brains. I'm teaching why they might have sensitivities, and I'm not. But he's like out here making fun of them. So it's like yeah, the reason why a lot of fighters wear sunglasses, I believe, is because they have brain inflammation and they get sensitive to bright lights and noises. And they're going to see that the press conference have bright lights, and they've had a habit for make them feel really uncomfortable, and they wear sunglasses. And they might not have the words like, well, I have neuroinflammation giving me sensitivities, and that's why I wear sunglasses. They might just end up kind of sliding into it because like they wear sunglasses sometimes they know they feel better unconsciously, and they end up wearing sunglasses more of the time. See, kind of like me before I was diagnosed with autism. And like I said, if I look back on my life, there was a lot of signs of autism, like sensitivities, before I got diagnosed. Like a lot of times in pictures, I'll be like this, which means the worst lights are the fluorescent lights sometimes in the ceiling. So if you have this, you have less light going into your eyes, direct light, okay? And also wearing like caps, baseball caps and sunglasses, and have like a haircut where it was like a curtain over my eyes when I was in school. Like I have a period of like growing up my hair like a curtain like this over my eyes. And then later on, I was wearing a cap all the time and sometimes sunglasses. But these like subtle signs if I look back at things. There's like I had sensitivities while having like a awareness of it. Not like no like well the reason why I have this haircut or wear a baseball hat or have like this partially reduced the amount of light going to my eyes, like lighter version in body language. It's because of sensitivities. No, it's like just you end up having a haircut, you feel better having a haircut, you keep having it, or you one day you wear a baseball hat and you end up feeling better, and you end up wearing the hat more likely because you just feel better wearing it without knowing why it makes you feel better. So I gotta finish up, and this could be on the video.